I'm going to break the wheel.
And a good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Breaking the Wheel results show. I'm your host, the Westerosi Ninja, and today's topic will be the results of questions answered from previous Breaking the Wheel videos during this past Sunday's final episode of Game of Thrones, titled The Iron Throne. And this is also going to be the last Breaking the Wheel video, so let's just see what happens, and we will start right now. So the first question is, who will give the best, most memorable monologue speech in the final season? And this was from Breaking the Wheel number 1 by Amanda Kane. And the wheel predicted Cersei Lannister will give the best speech or monologue. But at the end, I think in the season in total, I think the person that gave the best speech / monologue was Jon Snow in episode 4 in front of the funeral pyre after the long night or the battle against the Night King. So I think Jon probably gave the best speech out of everyone in this season. There wasn't really no monologue, so I had to go with the best speech. Jon Snow for that. So sorry, Wheel, you were incorrect on that one. And let's go to the next question. And we have like 15 questions, guys, so it might be a pretty long video, I think. And the second question is, who will have the most brutal death? And this was also from Breaking the Wheel number 1 by Amanda Kane. And the wheel predicted Arya Stark will have a brutal death. Of course, she has a lot of plot armor, so she survived, obviously. And in the show, I think the most brutal death was probably Varys, because dying by dragonfire is no fun experience. I was kind of torn between Varys or Missandei, but you know, getting your head chopped off quickly versus being burnt alive is probably no contest. I think being burnt alive is pretty brutal. So Varys got the most brutal death, so incorrect for that. Plus the fact that he was betrayed by his best friend, that's pretty brutal as well. So let's go into the third question here, think. And that was from Breaking the Wheel number 1 again, and this was from the Fat Dingo. And he wanted to know who will lead Westeros at the end of season 8. Well, the wheel predicted Melisandre would, but you know, she died in episode 3 and she wasn't quite the leader. And in the show, it was Bran Stark. He is crowned king of Westeros, Bran the Broken. And Wheel, you failed on this one too, so boom, incorrect for that one. And the fourth question is from Breaking the Wheel number 2 by Amanda Kane. And she wants to know who will speak the final lines of the series. So basically the final lines ever in the TV show. And the wheel predicted the Night King. And of course he went out with a whimper where we had absolutely no idea, basically what happened to him. Basically that was it. I mean, he basically just disappeared, and there evidently is no more Night Kings or any kind of White Walkers around. And in the show, the last person to speak a line was in episode 6, and that was actually Tyrion Lannister with the beehive and the donkey joke. So Wheel, another fail. Boom. And that is incorrect. And the next question is also from Breaking the Wheel number 2, and this was from Justin at Top Shelf Fandom, and he wanted to know who will die in the most pointless way possible. And the wheel said Varys, and no, Varys did die in a very pointless way, because we never got an idea of the extent of his betrayal. And he was caught and he got fried. But in my opinion, the person that actually died in the most pointless way possible was Qyburn. For such a pivotal figure in Cersei Lannister's camp in King's Landing, he kind of just died in 3 seconds, and we never got an idea about his true motivations in the story as to why he was introduced, and basically any kind of backstory, like how he actually created the zombie mountain. And so I think it was Qyburn, so that was a very pointless death. And sorry, Wheel, that's another wrong answer there. So let's go to the next question, and that is, who will be the sexiest character still alive at the end of season 8? And this was from Breaking the Wheel number 3, and the Dawg show answered that, asked that question. And the wheel predicted Jorah Mormont. Unfortunately, he passed away in episode 3 against the Army of the Dead. So, I think the sexiest character still alive in the show is none other than Brienne, because she's attracted to both men and women. So there you go. You can't say that about anybody else. So Brienne Tarth is probably the sexiest character still alive. And we'll incorrect on that guy. So let's go to the next question here. And that is, who will pay off Stannis' and Cersei's debts to the Iron Bank? They're both dead, and they owed a lot of money to the Iron Bank, you know, because the Iron Bank funded the Golden Company, who really didn't do anything. And this was from Breaking the Wheel number 3. And that was asked by some guy named the Westerosi Ninja. And the wheel predicted Arya Stark would be basically paying off the Iron Bank's debts. But no, that is not correct. In the show, the person that will be paying off Cersei Lannister's and Stannis' debts is most likely going to be Bronn of the Blackwater, or Lord Bronn of the Blackwater, because he is now the master of the coin and he is in control of the money purse. So Bronn will be paying off Cersei's and Stannis' debts probably, and because they always collect their money one way or another. And that is another incorrect answer for that incorrect prediction. So let's go into the next question. This is a really long video here. And that is, who will be the last person to die in the show? And that is from Christy Finley from Breaking the Wheel number 4. And the wheel predicted Tyrion Lannister would be the last person to die in the show. And you know, in the last episode, there was a possibility that he would be dying. But he did not, unfortunately for the wheel. In the show, the last person to pass away in the entire series was Daenerys Targaryen. So, another wrong prediction wheel. So, boom, another incorrect. Let's go to the next question, which is, who will drink the last goblet of wine in Game of Thrones? And that is from Breaking the Wheel number 5. And that was asked by another guy named the Westerosi Ninja, the same guy as before. And the wheel predicted Jon Snow would be drinking the last goblet of wine. It would have been kind of cool to see Jon, you know, basically drinking the last goblet of wine before kind of like headed, you know, north, you know, beyond the wall. But no, that is not Jon Snow. In the show, the last person to be drinking from a goblet of wine is none other than Tyrion Lannister in his meeting with Varys in the Dragonstone throne room. So, wheel, another wrong prediction and another incorrect. So let me go ahead and get another cup of coffee here, another sip of coffee at me. So let's go to the next question, which is, who will kill Daenerys Targaryen? This was from Amanda Kane, and this was from Breaking the Wheel number 7. And the wheel predicted the person to kill Daenerys Targaryen was none other than Hot Pie. No, Hot Pie didn't make any kind of surprise appearances. Last episode, the person that killed Daenerys Targaryen was Jon Snow. So, another wrong prediction wheel, I think. And another incorrect. And let's go to the next question, which is also from Breaking the Wheel number 7. And this is from the Westerosi Ninja again. And he wanted to know who will be the last character to die in Season 8. And the wheel predicted, Bronze Yohn Royce to be the last character. Kind of an anticlimactic death. But hey, you never know. In the show, it was, again, Daenerys Targaryen was the last character to die in Season 8. So, wrong prediction wheel and another incorrect, and we'll go to the next question. And this was from Breaking the Wheel number 7 again by the Westerosi Ninja again, and he wanted to know who will give the best coronation speech. And the wheel predicted it was going to be Gilly. We didn't see Gilly at all here, so it wasn't her. In fact, in my opinion, it was actually Daenerys Targaryen who gave the best coronation speech. In fact, she was the only person that gave a coronation speech. We didn't see Bran give a coronation speech, and It reminded me of 1936 Berlin or 1932 Nuremberg for all you history buffs there. But yeah, it was Daenerys Targaryen in the show that gave the best coronation speech. So, incorrect answer. And let's move on to the next question. And that is from Breaking the Wheel number 7 again. And this is from the Dawg show. And the Dawg wanted to know who would take the last drink of alcohol on the show. And the wheel predicted Samuel Tarly would. And at the end of the day, the last person to drink alcohol was none other than Tyrion Lannister in episode 4, The Last of the Starks. Again, in the same scene with Lord Varys in the Dragonstone throne room. So, and surprisingly, we didn't have anybody taking drinks in episodes 5 and 6. So there you go, Tyrion Lannister. And another incorrect answer for the wheel. So let's get into the next question here. Again, this is from Breaking the Wheel number 7. And it was also asked by the Westerosi Ninja, and he wanted to know who berates Daenerys Targaryen first for burning King's Landing. Well, the wheel predicted Bran Stark, which would have been pretty cool, being yelled at by a robot. But no, it wasn't Bran Stark. In the show, it was Jon Snow berating Daenerys Targaryen for burning King's Landing first. So another incorrect answer, wheel. And let's get into the last question, I think. And it is, who really wrote Game of Thrones season 5 through 8? And this was from Breaking the Wheel number 7. And that was asked by all the book readers out there. Well, the wheel predicted Sansa Stark. And that wasn't a bad prediction, because Sansa got everything that she wanted at the end of the series, whether deserved or not. But alas, it wasn't Sansa. In the show, it was actually Archmaester Ebrose who actually wrote the books and wrote the Song of Ice and Fire, where Dan and Dave got their inspiration from. So Archmaester Ebrose is the last ever answer in the entire Breaking the Wheel videos. And that is it, guys. The wheel did a really, really, really poor job this time around, going 0 for 15 in terms of its predictions. But hey, overall, it wasn't really that bad. Maybe the wheel got about 10 or 15% of the total number of questions correct, which is probably on par with a lot of you humans out there in terms of your predictions. So that is it. This is the final Breaking the Wheel video for Game of Thrones, but there might be more Breaking the Wheel videos, sort of like in the books perhaps. There's a couple more books by George R.R. Martin that we might be able to work with here. Plus, there might be some TV shows that we can apply the wheel to. So if you have any ideas, please leave any suggestions in the comment section below. But until then, again, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me in this journey with the wheel. And I will see y'all later. Peace.
Ninja JK, dupla, jinxa, bota, chakra em cada linha de faca. Face, macramé no micado, base, espadas por frases. Sintático, repara no que digo, é paradigmático. Não tenho paralelo, sou para lá de mágico. Sabes como rolo, martelo pneumático. Técnica secreta do monstro roxo. Estamos a meter-nos no dojo, estamos a manter combos no jogo. Só com uma espada nos tojos. Plano picado, não sabes de onde esta ave vem. Nenhum radar pode detectar onde está a nave, mãe, tu sabes bem. Somos a clique, somos o clã. É Monster Jinx cabrão, respeito ao vais comer tartan. Na terra do nunca não digo banzai. Vivo na espunca e tenho um bonsai. Ninja que é ninja, ninja, frotas imperiais. E bate mal, logo bate mais. A minha crew não sem espelhos. Na rua, dragão azul, dragão vermelho. Sento o silêncio. Versus Shinobi, nunca me canso. Sou de Nairobi, ágil como um ninja. Rápido como um ninja, letal como um ninja. Brutal como um ninja, fatal como um ninja. Forte como um ninja, secreto como um ninja. Devo mesmo ser um ninja.
Esta é para os meus ninjas, só para os meus ninjas. Onde é que estão os meus? Ninjas, 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 ninjas.